Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivacharya Asutra Sata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Channa Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se kol Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shamkund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan Dham ki, Mathura Dham ki, Navadip Dham ki, Shri Jagannath Swami ki, Yamuna Mai ki, Srimati Tulsi Devi ki, Samved Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastai Bhagla Srimate Bir Krishna Goswami Niti Namne Namo Hamsani Kashaya Prabhupada Priyate Sudashti Nishtate Vaslavakya Vadate. Good morning, Hare Krishna to everyone. Welcome to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, reading from Canto 3, Chapter 9. Was it Chapter 10? Chapter 10, Text 18. The title of this chapter is Divisions of the Creation. Welcome to all our online Mayapur TV viewers. Thank you for all your feedback. Met some devotees in the weekend, and they do watch our classes on Mayapur TV, the Grihasthas, especially in the Western Sydney. So welcome to you all. And ISKCON Sydney YouTube and Facebook. So, get started. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay. Sad ime prakrita sarga Vaikritan api me shrunu Rajo bhajo bhagavato Lileyam hari me dashaha Sadime prakritaha sarga Vaikritan api me shrunu Rajo bhajo bhagavato Lileyam hari me dashaha Sad ime prakrita sarga Vaikrita napi me shrunu Rajo bhajo bhagavato Lileyam hari me dashaha Sad ime prakrita sarga Vaikritran api me shrunu Rajo bhajo bhagavato Lileyam hari me dasha Sati me prakrita sarga Vaikritam api me shrunu Rajo bhajo bhagavato Lileyam hari me dashaha Sati me prakrita sarga Vaikritan api me shrunu Rajo bhajo bhagavato Lileyam hari me dashaha Satime prakrata sarga Vaikritan api me shrunu Rajo bhajo bhagavato Lileyam harimedashaha. Okay, so word for word. Sat, 6. Ime, all these. Prakrataha, of the material energy. Sarga, creations. Vaikritan, secondary creations by Brahma. Api, also. Me, from me. Shrunu, just hear. Raja Bhaja, of the incarnation of the mode of passion. Brahma, Bhagavata, of the greatly powerful. Leela, pastime. Iyam, this. Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Medasha, of one who has such a brain. Okay, so we've got a translation. We don't have any purport, so we'll continue until we can find a purport. I believe it's further down. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So all the above are natural creations by the external energy of the Lord. Now hear from me about the creations by Brahma, who is an incarnation of the mode of passion and who, in the matter of creation, has a brain like that of the personality of Godhead. So we can all repeat. All the above are natural creations by the external energy of the Lord. Now hear from me about the creations by Brahma, who is an incarnation of the mode of passion and who in the matter of creation has a brain like that of the personality of Godhead. That's nice. Lord Brahma has a brain like the personality of Godhead when it comes to creations. So we'll continue. I'll read the next text, 19. Saptamo mukhya sargastu sadvidhas tastu sam chaya vanaspati oshadi lata tva kshara virudho drumaha. The translation of that, the seventh creation is that of the immovable entities, which are of 6 kinds: the fruit trees without flowers, trees and plants which exist until the fruit is ripe, creepers, pipe plants, creepers which have no support, and trees with flowers and fruits. There's no purport for that one, so we move on to text 20. Utsrotasamapraya antasparsha visheshinaha. Translation: all the immovable trees and plants seek their subsistence upwards. They are almost unconscious, but have feelings of pain within. They are manifested in variegatedness. So just want to point out this one. A lot of us might have had questions before when we were growing up. Do plants cry? Or do plants feel pain when we cut off the branches? Speaking of cutting off the branches, I felt pain when I cut off a branch and I was in pain for the whole week. It went very deep. I had to get stitches, so no Mangal Aarti or driving for the week. But in any case, cutting off branches, I believe from this purport we can see that they feel pain, which is very interesting. It kind of makes us question whether we are doing right when we are cutting off trees. The Gurudev had actually mentioned just the other day in his class about the trees that in the Radhakund. There were trees, 5 trees there, and when they were excavating the trees in Radhakund, they were going to cut off these trees. And then the Pandavas came in their dream and said, "Don't cut our trees because we are residing in those trees." So I believe the last one was the Arjun tree. I think it fell. I went there in 2015. It was there. I have a photo of Gurudev pointing out, this is the Arjun tree, standing right beside him. After that, I don't think there is Arjun tree there. But they actually bleed sometimes. There was one tree in Imlitala, which is a Vrindavan story. I believe you would know that story, right? In Imlitala, there was somebody who wanted to cut off the trees. And he was told, don't cut off the trees, because these trees are desire trees, but they are personalities actually. They're people, they're persons. And when you go to Imlitala, you'll see that photo on the wall. There's somebody cutting the tree, and the tree starts bleeding blood. Not green, it's blood. So you have to treat the trees in Vrindavan very, very carefully. And those trees are desire trees. In other words, you can actually ask for anything. But obviously, Gurudev never let us ask for anything else other than service for Lord Krishna. So there is a specific tree, he told us, in Govinda Kund, which is near Govardhan. So Govinda Kund, there's a special tree. Because my first question to Gurudev when we were going on parikrama was, where are the desire trees? I didn't ask where is the Krishna, but actually my first question was, where is Srila Prabhupada? Because there was Samadhi in Mayapur and there was a Samadhi in Vrindavan, and I wanted to know where the actual body was placed. So Gurudev told me, you're in Vrindavan and you'll find out. That was the first question. The second question was, where are the desire trees? And he said, I'm not going to tell you because you might ask for something that you're not supposed to. Anyway, the only thing we can ask for is for service. But I think that this time I go, hopefully I can go, with Gopinath's blessings. I will go and ask for the desire tree, and I can declare it boldly. I'm going to ask for female initiating gurus. That's my desire, because we do not have female initiating gurus. And half of ISKCON is made up of ladies. But it's very sad we don't have one. So I would ask anybody to go and ask a desire tree the same wish. Anyway, so moving on to the next text, 21. This comes with a purport. So, text 21. Tirascham astamaha sarga sostavim sad vido mataha avido bhuri tamaso grana jnana hriday avidinaha. So the translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So translation, the eighth creation is that of the lower species of life. So they come after plants. And they are of different varieties, numbering 28. They are extensively foolish and ignorant. They know their desirables by smell, but are unable to remember anything within the heart. So the purport, in the Vedas, the symptoms of the lower animals are described as follows. So there's in Sanskrit, there's a quotation. Ateshta resham pashu naha ashana pi pashe eva bhivijanam na vijnatam vadanti na vignatam pashyanti na viduhu swasthanam na loka lokav iti yadva bhuri tamaso bhaurushaha grahane naiva jananti hridayam prati swapriyam vastu eva vindati bhojana sayanadi artham grahananti. That means lower animals have knowledge only of their hunger and thirst. They have no acquired knowledge, no vision. Their behavior exhibits no dependence on formalities. Extensively ignorant, they can know their desirables only by smell, and by such intelligence only can they understand what is favorable and unfavorable. Their knowledge is concerned only when eating and sleeping. Therefore, even the most ferocious lower animals, such as tigers, can be tamed simply by regularly supplying meals and accommodation for sleeping. Only snakes cannot be tamed by such an arrangement. So there you have it. Snakes don't listen to anyone other than the rest of the animals, which you can tame or you can train up just by accommodation and meals. But with a snake, you can never do that. In that story about the snake, when I went to Muvalamba, there's lots of snakes there, right? If you've been there. And there's one nice little brown snake, which is very dangerous in the ladies' ashram. So I said to Gurudev, please don't send me there. I don't want to go there. I'm scared of snakes. I said, no, you've got to go there. You've got to learn how to be a pujari. So His Grace Narsingha Kavacha Prabhu was training me to be a pujari. He took me personally to the altar for 6 months, and I had to tolerate. There was this brown snake. Sometimes there's an anaconda that you see. Sometimes you see a green tree snake from the trees. So when I told Gurudev, there's snakes here, he said, you don't have to worry about those snakes. You have to be worried about the snakes who are human beings and their behavior is like snakes. And you can find them anywhere. So that kind of pacified me, but still I'm not very happy around snakes. But that was a very interesting point he made. So we'll do a little bit of Mangal Charan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapinam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sva Padantikam Vande Ham Shri Gurum Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitan Nibhayo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so this one is about creation, and because of this thing I'm a little bit low on energy, so please forgive me if I skip places. I'll be reading from my book today. There's some very nice notes that I had written on the creation. So we'll try to go through some of those. And there were some prayers made by Sukadev Goswami back in Canto 2. And the reason he prays to the personality of Godhead is because he wants the blessings. Because Parikshit Maharaj is asking him all these questions. And whenever we are, even today, we did the Mangal Charan, because we are asking for blessings, so that we can actually relate or communicate whatever knowledge we gain effectively. Which brings me to the point that Gurudev was speaking only yesterday in his class. He said the empowerment of preaching, it doesn't come from the person. In other words, we are not the doer. And I might be speaking, but it's not really me. The empowerment actually comes from the Guru. And he did use that, I think I've used that example before, the powerhouse. You know, you might be a little switch only, and you plug yourself into the power point. But if there's no electricity, you will not be empowered. You will not get the power. So you are asking for blessings whenever you speak. So Sukadev Goswami also here is asking for the blessings, the empowerment. For us, we are very insignificant. So we get the empowerment by our gurus, and we cannot ever take credit. And I don't think I would ever would be able to, because I don't think I know much at all, actually. I don't know much at all. It's empowerment by Gurudev and his master before him, spiritual master, and the entire parampara. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do much. We are not really the doer. There are times when I've actually gone back to my classes for certain references, and I listen and I say, where did that come from? Because I didn't know that. Sometimes that happens. I didn't know that. I don't know who spoke, but someone did. So definitely not me. So here, Sukadev Goswami is praying to Personality of Godhead for the creations, because we are talking about these creations that have manifested. First, Lord Krishna created. First, he created things, and then he empowered Lord Brahma to create. Now, with the material energy, Lord Krishna basically had three points. One who accepts, the first point was that he accepts the three modes of nature, material nature, to create this material world. And second is that he is the one who is the complete whole residing within the body of everyone. So body of everyone is a living entity. So he is himself is inside it. First he accepts the three modes of nature. Then the second one is he himself resides in the material, the living entity. And the third one is one whose ways are inconceivable. In other words, we can't really understand him. We can't understand his ways. So where he accepts the material nature, in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.5.50 is Tvamna Suranam Ashi Sannavayanam Kutashta Adya Purusha Purana Tvam Deva Shaktyam Gun Karma Yono Retastwab Ajayam Kavim Ado Heja. So that means you are the original founder. This is the prayer by, these prayers by Sukadev Goswami are actually very valuable. They're, if you really want to know, because sometimes we don't know how to pray to Lord Krishna and we want to know what things to say. And this is the time when we actually look at the Srimad Bhagavatam and we say, okay, well, this is what Sukadev Goswami says and this is what a prayer should be like, roughly. So we kind of, because you will go, we are told, chant Hare Krishna. If someone's sick, they'll say, Mataji or Prabhuji, please pray for this person, they're sick. So we'll say, okay, we'll chant extra round for them. You know, we chant. We are told to chant. But sometimes we need to something extra. So just flip the pages and go through, you know, some of the prayers. There's prayers by Kunti Devi, prayers by Bhishma Pitama, prayers by Prahlad Maharaj. Here's a prayer by Sukadev Goswami. And the meaning of this one is that you are the original founder of all the demigods and the orders of different gradations, yet you are the oldest and you are unchanged. Actually, that is correct. You are the oldest, you are unchanged. If you ever happen to come across Lord Krishna in your dreams or in a vision, the first thing that will hit you, it is impossible to miss it. The first thing that will hit you is you look at Krishna and say, you are the oldest. You've been here since time immemorial. You know, what's the word? Immemorable. It's been there forever. We might have come later. Our consciousness might have. We are also supposed to be eternal, parts and parcels of Krishna. But our conscious, when we are actually, before we are created, we are merged, or we are inside, we go inside the Mahavishnu Tattva. So we are basically unconscious, all of us. We are unconscious, all of us. And what has happened during annihilation, whatever activities we were in the middle of, that's what we're going to take with us. And so when the time comes for us to be manifested again, if we haven't made it back to Godhead, that is, we'll start from there. So these plants we are talking about and these lower animal species we are talking about, the one who realizes everything just by smell, they would have been in that process before annihilation. And they would have been lying dormant, unconscious, for many, many thousands of celestial years. And then when they are manifested again, they start their journey again. Those were the desires. So here, Sukadev Goswami is saying that you are oldest and you are unchanged. O Lord, you have no source, O superior. You have impregnated the external energy with the semen of total living entities, yet you are unborn. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, it's chapter 14.3, Lord Krishna says, the total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is stated that Brahman, that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. So this is the best explanation of the creations we are talking about, the material world. It is the combination of the body and the spirit soul. It is a combination of all the material energy and the living entity. So Krishna combines all the different, and you wouldn't believe the kind of combinations you have of material energy. There'd be a little bit of, mode of ignorance, maybe there's a lot of mode of passion, little bit of goodness, but there's so many unlimited versions of it and degrees of it that, it makes us such an individual. There's only 3 modes of material nature, but some of us are filled with more passion, others are filled with more goodness. But our job is to actually transcend all 3. And we'll come to that hopefully in a little while. I'll just skip to a little bit extra here. Like I was mentioning, that each individual souls, they remain unconscious after the dissolution of creation, and thus enters into the Lord with the material energy. And then in each and every material creation, they are given a chance to liberate themselves and become free souls and gradually promote to the spiritual sky. So the individual souls in the material world engage in different activities according to their past unfinished desires, which after the dissolution, the soul forgets everything. So we forget that we were flying like a bird, before the annihilation, or whatever it is that we were doing, we forget that. And then the Lord, situated in everyone's heart, reminds him, and he begins accordingly. Now in that, he say we were not annihilated, we just died. So who takes care of that? It's Yamaraj. If we haven't done any good deeds, it says that Yamaraj monitors 100% of all our actions, 100%. Nothing escapes him. Nothing at all. 100% of our actions, Yamaraj. So he takes care of that, and we are just basically given a chance. Lord Krishna gives us a chance to basically enjoy our senses. It is up to the living entity to understand that we are not here to enjoy our senses, but actually Krishna enjoys through us. Krishna enjoys the living entity. He is the one who enjoys, we don't. But the ultimate plan, the ultimate plan is to get these souls back to Godhead. So we realize that, we have to make it back to Godhead. We have to transcend. The second point is a very interesting one, which is what I was going to wish for the desire tree. The second point is that he is complete whole residing within the body of everyone. So he has actually said in Bhagavad Gita 14.4, it should be understood, all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. He is the seed-giving father. So what happens is, Prabhupada explains, the gross body outside, it is like a coat, like a jacket. And then the other senses, the mind intelligence and the false ego, that is like a shirt inside the coat. So you've got the coat, the body. Then your mind intelligence, the body is the senses. The mind intelligence, false ego is a shirt. And inside the coat and the shirt lies your soul. The living entity's soul. And that's what we are supposed to be seeing. So it says here, this is from the purport of the Bhagavad Gita, I believe. One who has advanced spiritual knowledge and is spiritually advanced, he sees the one inside the body. He doesn't see the body. This is in the Bhagavad Gita, and it has been quoted by Srila Prabhupada. The person who is advanced in spiritual knowledge has spiritual vision. They are known as Panditaha. And since Krishna is the seed-giving father, we should see Krishna in all. So we need to have this broad vision, otherwise we have imperfect vision. One should not see the dress, but what's inside the dress. Like Krishna said, Krishna never ever said that somebody's particular body is dear to me. Never said. I don't think he will say, okay, Syamapriya Devi Dasi, I'm choosing myself as the example because I don't want to offend anyone. But he'll never say, Syamapriya Devi Dasi, that your body is dear to me. Never. He'll say that your soul, your spiritual identity, your soul, part and parcel, you are dear to me. So Krishna is within us. And we have to see that. And so I'm coming to the point that what I'm asking the desire tree, that, you know, they are ladies, they're in a female body, but they're extremely qualified. They're highly qualified. They know the entire Srimad Bhagavatam as a photocopy memory. I have to read from my book. I can never remember my shlokas. Although I do know the references, but I can never remember them. But we are taught that we are the soul. And Srila Prabhupada here tells us that those who have spiritual advanced knowledge must see the Krishna within. And Lord Krishna also knows us from within. Neither Lord Krishna is attached to the body. No, Srila Prabhupada is actually asking us for, you know, to be attached to the body. So we are taught we are the soul. Then when it comes to having an initiated guru, say you are the female body. So that kind of makes me think twice. So especially if they are qualified, they are ladies who are mothers, and their job is to be the guru of their family because they are raising Krishna conscious kids. Perhaps they are not in an initiating guru standard or platform, but they are devotees nonetheless, and they should be commended because they are increasing our movement by producing devotee kids. And that's a job and a half, to produce children like that. But then there are ladies who have progressed and given up material life and are without family and are extremely qualified. And they can contribute to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. I was only just thinking about it. I was meditating on this early this morning, since 1 a.m. because this finger was throbbing, so I didn't sleep till 1 a.m. in the morning, so that's why my energy is a bit low. I was thinking that back home in Fiji, there's very aggressively preaching Christianity there. And so much so that the Hindus they came to the school where I was teaching, and they're throwing the Ramayana and the Bhagavad Gita away, and the rubbish. Those very Hindus who were, praising Lord Ram. How horrible is that? And recently there was a story there that those very Hindus who were converted to Christians, they were smashing a deity of Hanuman. So, these things are happening in the world, and I was thinking if a lady is an initiating guru, how valuable she will be, because she will be doing her share of preaching and our movement will be growing. We need as many soldiers as we can. And Srila Prabhupada told us, every boy and girl must preach, it's our duty. So if someone out there is able to gain many devotees, why not? So that was what I was going to do. In any case, according to this Srimad Bhagavatam, the point was that we should see Krishna in all. We should not see the body. We should see the quality, the soul. And the third point was that Krishna acts in ways which are inconceivable. So in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, because I am transcendental, both beyond both the fallible and infallible, and because I'm the greatest. Krishna actually admits, he says, I'm the greatest. And he also says, I'm celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. No one can surpass the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the revelated soul. So the Supreme Lord and the living entity are not at all on the same level. The Lord is Purushottam. So then how do we understand somebody who is inconceivable? How can we understand Lord Krishna? Any ideas? Pardon? Yes. He will reveal himself to us, yes. And what makes him reveal himself to us? Through bhakti, yes. So we actually come to know Krishna through only bhakti, only bhakti. devotional service. And then only he will reveal himself. He will say, okay, well, this particular bhakta, this particular devotee is doing this service. So he will reveal himself. It was this, what was the story where Radharani came with the kheer? For someone, don't remember? Even I don't remember the full details, but this one devotee who was, thinking, she came with the kheer, she made some kheer. In any case, even the Shyamananda, he was sweeping around Radhakund, and then he found the jewelry, right? And then Lalita Devi, she came, right? And then he was initiated by Radharani. Depends on how you are, what your bhava is. And in any case, whenever we become devotees, Lord Krishna reveals himself to us in a certain way. So there's many other things that I wanted to talk about, but we are running out of time. But it was quite interesting how we can actually get to that stage. Maybe in my next class I'll be able to. Cover that. It's very interesting how we can actually become bhaktas, devotees of Lord Krishna with a special ras. Like, we come to that stage where we know, basically in a nutshell, because I was trying to, make the point that you don't want to be in a situation where you are manifested again after annihilation. So you got to transcend all that. So you become a devotee, you become a bhakta, you surrender to Krishna, you learn you learn to understand him through devotional service. But in a nutshell, the ras is that, when you think of Krishna, you think of him in such a way that, you can relate to him. Like, for example, where's the picture of the little Makhanchor? It's gone. Oh, there is he. He used to be there. But whenever we look at Makhanchor, we think he's such a cute baby. Baby. So then that's the feelings, the rasa is that of a parent. So in a nutshell, the meditation on Krishna, when we are serving him, maybe we are cooking for him. Sometimes we are cooking for him. The way I cook for him is I give him everything that I've cooked in the pot, because I think, okay, I will go and feed your gopas and gopis. If you don't eat it, feed it to them. So the feeling there, the rasa is that more of a Vrindavan, situation where you are feeding the entire team of Lord Krishna's gopas. And in that, I used to feed Krishna like that all the time. So one day, what happened was, I was dreaming and I was a bit late in waking up, and I didn't make the breakfast. And Krishna, and I could hear this little voice, I want my breakfast. Very sweet child's voice, I want my breakfast. And I thought, who's talking? I live by myself here. And I went back to sleep, and then in my dream, I'm seeing a whole bunch of boys in my kitchen as it is, by the way. And the fridge, whatever was there as it was. There was nothing extra or less or more that I'd put in the fridge. And this fat little they made their own breakfast, these little boys, from my fridge, and sat around my dinner table and were eating. I was dreaming. And this fat little boy, Madhumanga, he went for seconds. I don't know what he fed himself from the fridge. But, you start dreaming like that. Which is really interesting. So you come to that point, which, you pray that you will come to, if you haven't reached there. But that kind of rasa comes in your service, how you serve, how you cook for him, how you clean for him, when you see his picture, what you think, the thoughts that come into your mind when you think of Krishna, that's your rasa. So I will stop there. If anyone has any comments or questions. No, not today. Okay. Thank you for listening. Srimad Bhagavatam Puran ki jai.